In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I went from being a master procrastinator and always feeling stuck in my progress to finally becoming a disciplined young man working towards his personal goals on a daily basis. And my promise to you is, if you're currently struggling with procrastination and you decide to watch throughout this whole video and learn exactly how I beat procrastination, you too will beat procrastination and build much more discipline in your daily life. So 2 years ago, when I was still 15 years old, still doing all those bad habits, smoking, watching the wrong things, going to the wrong places, hanging around the wrong people, not leveling up myself, I used to struggle so heavily and deeply into procrastination. Every single moment when I would have an opportunity to read a book, back then it was the Bible, I would say, nah, I'm just gonna go scroll on my phone. Every time I would have the opportunity to do my homework assignment now and finish it and give it to the teacher so that I don't have to stress for the upcoming week. When you do it late, the project, then you start stressing, then you start panicking. Guess what I would do? I would always save it for last. They give me on a Monday, I would do it. And they give me on the Monday and they say it's due on a Friday, I would do it on that Thursday night, panicking. Why? Because I was a master procrastinator. Every single moment I had an opportunity to at least level up myself by 1%, I would say, nah, I'll save that for later. I'll do it another time. There's still time. But the more I was keep on procrastinating my growth, the more I started to see the side effects more and more. I started becoming less confident within myself. You know why? Because I couldn't keep a word. I would say I would go run tomorrow. Would I run? No. I'd say I would stop smoking tomorrow. Would I stop? No. I would say I would finally build a closer relationship with the Lord and finally become the best version of myself. Did I pick up the Bible? No. Why? Because I allowed procrastination to come into my life and literally, destroy me. Procrastination is not a nice feeling. It's not a nice feeling because we get in areas where when we're scrolling on social media, we see someone who's now doing better than us. And it makes it worse when that person is either our age or 1 year younger or 1 year or 2 years older. It pains because you literally seeing your own peer doing the most and you just here watching him do the most. He's trying to tell you, do A, B, C, and you will be exactly like me and be more disciplined. You try it out for 1 day, but then for the rest of the month, you go back to square one. I know that pain. That used to be me. I used to constantly be looking at this successful people, these people who would always grind and push and do all this type of things. And I'd be feel inspired and motivated and be like, that's gonna be me tomorrow. Tomorrow rolls around, guess what I do? Scroll. The more I was scrolling, the more the dreams are going and going. But until one day, I said enough was enough, man, which was on the 4th of December 2023. I'll forever remember that day because that's the day when everything changed. 4th of December 2023, I looked myself in the mirror and I said, enough is enough. We've been procrastinating for too long. We've been lazy for too long. We've been letting our dreams and goals run away simply just like that for way too long. It's time for a change. So I heard of this concept called eat the frog. And I was like, eat the frog? Am I literally gonna eat the frog and I'm gonna now be more disciplined? I don't know why I thought that, but it came into my mind. But then no, eat the frog is basically you doing the hardest task in the beginning of your day or in the beginning of whenever you have the free time and having the rest of the day of relaxed. Because this is the imagination. Close your eyes quickly. Let's say now you have a cake over here, your favorite cake, and you have an ugly frog over here. Your favorite cake is sitting over here, looking at you and saying, eat me now. But then that ugly frog, which you don't want to look at, is also saying, eat me now. Which would you start with? Would you start with the cake first, or would you start with the ugly frog? Think about it though. I hope your eyes are still closed. Think about it though. If you eat the cake first, which is nice and sweet in your mouth, you're going to feel it all, that niceness. But then you look on the side, you still have a frog that you still have to eat. That dewy ugliness. You pick it up and you eat it, but then now you just feel disgusted and the cake's taste is now gone. That would definitely make you feel disgusted, right? That would definitely make you feel like, yo, why did I eat that cake? But then, let's imagine now you decided to start with the ugly frog. It was disgusting. It was gooey. It was just bad. But then you got it through. And now you decide to take a bite of your favorite cake. How does that feel? That feels amazing, right? Because now the sweetness is driving in your mouth. I don't eat cake. I do eat cake, but I barely eat cake. So I don't know the sweetness, the relaxingness. I don't know if cake even makes you relax, but just that nice sweetness just goes through your mouth and you just be like, yeah, this is nice. Because the aftertaste is no longer that gooey frog. The aftertaste is that nice sweetness. You can open your eyes now. So that's basically Eat the Frog in real life. In real life, this is how we perform Eat the Frog. We do the homework assignment first thing when you come back from school. We do the gym exercise first thing when you come back from school or work. We do just the hardest task first thing, then the rest of the time we relax. That's basically how beating procrastination is. Once I heard of this concept, I was like, oh, so I should just do the hardest task now, then I could have the rest of the day off to myself. Okay, let me give it a try. I got a homework assignment or a test assignment. Then I was like, okay, this one, it's due next week, Thursday. And I got it on Wednesday. You know when we're going to finish it? We're going to finish it between Thursday to Sunday. I finished it on Saturday and I was free. Monday, Tuesday, I was free. I was looking at all of my school learners. They were like, yo, homework assignments. Yo, I still need to go do that test assignment. I still need to go do that thing. All of them were panicking. And I was like, that used to be me. But now, I'm done with the assignment. I no longer procrastinated the assignment. I gave the ma'am freely and I got good marks. That's how we do it. We do the hardest tasks first and then we go in easy. Because think about it. You have literally tried beating procrastination, but you keep on falling back into it. Why? Because you keep on leaving the hard task towards the end of the day. You say you want to start gymming more, but then after you go to school, you're tired. After you come back from school, you decide to take a nap. And after you take the nap, you go do your homeworks, then you don't gym. But then, if you could eat the frog, you could literally wake up an hour earlier, hour than what you usually wake up. If you wake up at 6, you wake up at 5 now. You wake up at 5, you just take 30 minutes to exercise, and then you start your day like that. You see, you're eating the frog. You're getting that hardest task, because gymming is not easy, but it's easy. It's enjoyable, but it's not easy, but it's easy. Then you get that task out the way, so that for the rest of the day, you can go through school nicely. You can maybe fall into your addictions nicely. Because for me, it was a thing of, I got my hardest assignment done early in the morning. I used to gym in the mornings. Like I used to wake up at 5. Usually this side, school starts at 7:30, and waking up at 6, I need an hour to do everything. Bathing, putting on clothes, eating, then I go to school. So I used to wake up at 5 and I'd literally go hit a 30-minute session outside. I used to use my dumbbells. Quick, in, out, squat, abs, chest, shoulders, so on and so on. Quick 30 minutes, go and start my day. Simple. Then throughout the day, since I was not yet perfect or not yet good in this discipline thing, I would then just go throughout my day, smoke a little, do the bad things a little, and go throughout my day, but trying to let go of these things but with slow motion and slow progress. Then eventually, those things went away and I no longer became a procrastinator. Why? Because I was always doing the first task early in the morning and getting it out the way. Same thing with this YouTube over here. I could literally say over here, I'm going to shoot you only in the afternoon. But I said no, because when I do it in the afternoon, I'm a little bit tired. I ate. Personally, for me, I don't eat before I do major things like this. Shooting a YouTube video, working on something that I love, studying on schoolwork. I make sure I don't eat for the first 3 hours. And that 3 hours, I'm focused on my business, my passion, my study work. Then I don't eat and I focus over here, which I'm doing over here. I'm focused and I'm ready and I'm doing the hardest task, because shooting YouTube videos, it can be hard sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to do it. Sometimes you're willing to do it. But at the end of the day, it's quite hard. So we get that task hard. And I know once I'm done with this YouTube video over here, guess what? I can then go throughout my day and do whatever I want. I can go to school and go watch some sports event. I can go to a coffee shop and drink some coffee. I can go read more books. I can do whatever I want. Why? Because I've got the hardest task done. I didn't procrastinate it, because if I decided to do this shooting video around the afternoon, I would have been tired. I would have had a little bit of brain fog because I've already ate. I've already consumed myself with content. I've already done this and that. Like, it's so much. But now, since I woke up, did my morning routine, went to go run, came back and shoot, and now I'm shooting this video, procrastination is not gonna be in me. So eat the frog. And you can literally copy me over here. All you have to do is identify exactly what are the hardest tasks that you can't do or that you're struggling to do on a daily basis. Maybe you're struggling to finish your homeworks and you wanna also go gym and you also wanna go read books. Simple. Wake up an hour earlier and go exercise. 30 minutes. Then go. But if you can't exercise an hour earlier, go to school. And you're okay. If you can't exercise an hour earlier and you still have to do your homeworks and you still have to also want a gym, this is what you can do. First, identify between the two which one is the hardest task. Is it the gym or is it the homeworks? I'm guessing for you, it's the homeworks. So then after school, you come back home and you do the homeworks same time. You do it quickly. You don't open your phone. Okay, if your homework is on your phone, that's fine. But you make sure you finish the homework with deep focus, an hour to an hour 2. Right. After finishing your homeworks, guess what? You can now go relax and go eat your favorite cake. And with that favorite cake, you can go pick up the muscles nicely. You can go gym nicely, knowing that you finished with your homeworks. Because usually I know you maybe were gymming and in your mind you're like, oh, I still have this homework assignment that what gave me, that teacher gave me. I still need to go through my homework. But now since you're done with your homework, you can gym freely. You can take your time on the bench press, on the bicep curls, on the tricep curls. You can take your time. You know why? Because the hardest task is done, and now you can eat your cake. You finally ate your frog, and now you can eat your cake and relax for the rest of the day. So that's exactly how I did my procrastination. It's literally by doing the hardest task first thing in the morning or first thing after school, and then relaxing for the rest of the time. It took time. I wasn't perfect. As I mentioned, I did this thing while I was still in my prime of smoking, doing all these bad habits and doing all this nonsense. But the more I was programming myself to do the hard things first, and the more I was leveling myself more and more and more, the more the addictions and all of these things went away. And guess what? Now I'm free, now I'm disciplined, and now life is good. So, this is how you beat procrastination. Always remind yourself this. Should I eat the cake or should I start with the frog first? Which should I start with? Frog is the homework, the cake is the gym. Which one would I start with first? That's up to you. But that's how I beat my procrastination. And if you can literally copy me, I promise you, start eating the frog more, you too will be much more disciplined and procrastination will be out of your life. If I can do it, you too can do it. Thank you for watching this video and see you on the next one.